Welcome to Small Potatoes.
where we give you a naughty tease of our latest Patreon episode.
Be sure to subscribe. Links are in the description.
We are diving into controversy today. I'm so excited.
I know you are. We've touched on this topic before or mentioned this group of people, the characters in the industry. But we're going to do a bit of a deeper dive with it today. We're talking about like the real bad players, in our opinion, in our industry versus like the coalition of group of people that were out to get us. And we did speak on this in our very early episodes. And I think we had some questions about it, did we not?
We did. One of the main questions, inquirings people wanted to know is, okay, so this coalition of owners hate you. Why do they hate you? What is the real reason, ladies? Because you're talking about what they did to you. Horrible things. We love you. Terrible. But girls, tell the truth. So, are we going to tell on ourselves today? I don't know. But we're going to dive into this shit because I think there's a lot to tell in this regard. And I do remember the early rumblings, I will call it, the little whispers and the pitter patters and the growing fucking symphony of people that really started to hate not just us, but me very specifically. And it started before Muse even opened. It was in the lead up to Muse opening. And so we've talked a little bit on other episodes about how there are review boards, TripAdvisor, Yelp style review boards for our industry, free industry, really. And one of the main rules on the main like review boards is that it's a boys' locker room. As providers, we are supposed to pay for advertising and only post in the advertising sections. We're not really supposed to engage in much beyond the general chat. And every forum has a general chat little area, like a lobby where you can talk about, pop culture, who won the Super Bowl. But everything else is very review based. And of course, the rebellious little shit that I am decided to make myself a handle and started to engage the boys in conversation. I was completely anonymous. I enjoyed it thoroughly. My handle was MPA squared because MPA stands for massage parlor attendant and squared is there's two of us. So the point was, I'm going to do some market research beyond what I already know from my business, or like being in the business. And we're going to ask the guys some questions and poll the community and see what's what. And I got permission from the former owner of the review board. Rest in peace. He's no longer with us and we miss him greatly because things changed after he left. But with his permission and his blessing, I was allowed to start posting and I could post Q&As and I could post riddles and I could post, all kinds of different creative things where I was basically doing market research. And at first it was cheeky and a lot of people were like, ooh, a girl. It's a lot of attention. But I was really good at it and I write really well. So I blogged a little. I reviewed some clients, which was very against the grain. Like I did a lot of shit that is really not allowed, but with permission from the moderators.
Right.
And it pissed off some other characters in the industry quite a bit. And there was one particular very popular attendant at the time. Let's call her Tina. And she was a wonderful attendant. We can't knock her skill set or her reviews. She was top tier. She was extremely egotistical and extremely possessive of her popularity. And nobody else could get that attention. It's kind of like the original influencer, now that I think about it.
Right.
She kind of was like me, and nobody else. So here was MPA squared ruffling feathers, and my inbox was full of dudes asking who I was, and I promised the moderators I would never tell. Give them the odd little hint here and there and be like, well, I don't work in, I don't know, Pickering, or I don't work in Ottawa, or I don't work in Brampton, but like I would never really pinpoint. So it was very anonymous. And the more she got irked, by, I would assume, the amount of her clients that were talking to her about it, because she would talk to all of her clients about the review boards, whereas
Mhm.
most of us talk to zero clients about review boards, because that's weird.
Yeah.
And it was also a thing back in the day that you never asked anyone for a review. Nowadays, businesses have a little thing on the door that you like QR scan and like they're like, leave us a 5-star review.
Right.
Uber Eats guy drops off and he goes, give me 5 stars. That's not how this works when it comes to sex work. You're supposed to mind your business, zip your lip, and just go about your business, but to read them and to learn. And here I was just stirring the whole fucking pot. And so she took an aim at us, Tina. She took a definite aim at MPA squared. And no
Mhm.
one knew what we were up to at the point. Like nobody
Yeah.
knew yet. It wasn't until about a month before that we finally put out the big announcement,
Mhm.
announced my retirement. And then they had a face to put to the hate
Did
and a
you
direction to go.
did you
Go.
reveal at that point who you were at that, like as
Mhm.
MK Squared? Okay.
With the big reveal. Um, Gosh, I remember you and I edited that post like 1,000 times before we posted it, right? It was like, how many drafts are we going to do?
Hmm.
Um, because we wanted to say kind of like, this is who we are. This is what we've been doing. Thank you for participating, everybody. Y'all were unaware that you were part of our roundtable, our conference groups and our study groups and all the things. Um, and we're opening this new spa and it was a big, loud, flashy announcement with all of the ego and extremely cocky and all of the lovely things that we are very prideful about. But yeah, instead of just this anonymous handle to target and hate and like kind of rant about, um, there was a name now to go with it, and Emily was the target. Riley was in cahoots with Emily, and that was it. Like this news place, what the fuck? And it was just very disgruntled, very angry. But she had such a following. She had minions. She had white knights. She had an army of people on every review board, the scandalous ones, the legitimate ones, and everything in between. And they came into absolute full attack mode. And so when I think to why they originally hate us, that was it. We were loud and proud. We went against the grain. We broke many rules with permission, though. And it was literally asking fun questions and blocking. It wasn't like I killed someone's puppy. Like, get over yourselves, people.
Well, I think it was when it comes to Tina. Yes, you were not supposed to be on there, and again, you did get permission, but I think so many people were intrigued by your presence, and you never lied. You weren't posing as a man. You were
Yeah.
clearly an MPA. But it wasn't just taking the attention from her, but it was intriguing everyone. You were intelligent, the way you spoke, the way you wrote, the things you were asking, the things you wanted to know. Um, it intimidated her, and I kind of understand that, and I understand the question that we were posed, like, what did you do wrong? Because we aren't angels. I mean, I think we are, but the fact of the matter is we all make mistakes or do things wrong, and in some respects I can say, okay, you did something you weren't supposed to, but you had permission. Like, I can't fault you for it that much, but at the same time, the backlash that came from it was not called for.
Right.
The hate was too overboard. And that plays into Tina's ego because she just could not accept that another MPA be not only as skilled as she was, because she was, intelligent, and oh shit, now she's starting her own business.
Yeah. It was feather ruffling.